And what's your best advice then, Sam, for someone how to build a business? Because a lot of franchisees want to do what you've been able to do, but they just seem to have like a roadblock sometimes, or they just can't seem to do it. So what's your best advice to them to maybe then how to build a business, maybe how to go from that 1 or 2 person operation to a medium-sized business, what you've done?
Look, I tell people, because I get a lot of fake calls from gyms and outside gyms, I met in businesses. And they ask me the same question, I'm not making money. I'm not liking business, I'm not making money, I'm going. And I said, how long have you been in that business? And tell me, forget what I say to you, tell me what you're doing to that business to make sure it is feasible for you. So I would tell them you have to invest a lot of time, not the money, a lot of time to make sure it's working. It's a real business running on 4 wheels, yeah? So it's driving around, we just did our work and we go out in the afternoon. And make sure it's being done properly.
So today on the Jim's podcast, we're joined by Sam from Jim's Cleaning. Now, Sam, you're one's Jim's anniversary calls. He calls every franchisee on their 10, 15 different milestone anniversaries, and he said, you got to talk to Sam. Sam's had a great chat with Sam. He's built a fantastic life for himself and has had a really good journey as a Jim's Cleaning franchisee. So we thought we'd jump on today and just ask you a bit about your journey. And over the 10 years, Sam, how have you found everything, first of all, and how have you managed to build yourself? Jim said you've got a pretty nice little empire for yourself with what you're doing. So how's that all been going?
And Joel, let me just go back one step in relation to how I started this business. Prior to this, I used to work with the state and for the Commonwealth government. I started as a junior clerk at the Upper Kraiche in New South Wales. And then I moved to the Department of Energy as a clerk as well. And then I got an offer to work with the Australian Tax Office. I was doing an internal audit as a cadet. I'd stayed there for about 8.5 years. And after that, I then moved to the South East City Council. And then I was then offered to study and keep working as a senior auditor for South City Council, looking after between the domain car park in the city and the head office based at Johnson Adelaide Settlement. So I was basically doing this sort of work for the duration of 8.5 years. And then after I finished my diploma with business and economics, and then I met a gentleman based in Melbourne, funny enough, and through my previous work, and he owned and managed and operate hospital car parks in New South Wales. So and then I moved and worked with him for just about 7 years as a state manager for that company. I was looking after all the hospital car parks in New South Wales, and we used to manage on behalf of government and area health services. And then I decided to open up my own business. So, and then I started this business from scratch. I ended up meeting Jim, ended up visiting him in Melbourne. We sat down, over to a chat, went to a couple of seminars, and I thought this is the right business for me. I'm very good in relation to managerial positions. I used to run and manage staff, and I thought myself that this part of business in relation to open up your own business, that part of business would be managed properly. On relation to the operation part, I then decided to become a cleaner, and I thought having a brand like G, it would give me a bit of backup to start this business from scratch. And as you know, Joel, having a business started from scratch, it's a big deal from the family point of view and from the business point of view. So everything had to be started from scratch. How do you build up your business? That's how I become a business person to own a business. And the first time I own a business, I've never done it before. So it is my first, and I think it will be my last, because I've done the hard work, and now it's just, basically just managing.
And what motivated you to do the business in the first place? Was it family? Was it a lifestyle you just wanted to change? What was the actual reason for it? And do you remember why did you go with Jim's? Was there anything else? You probably were looking at other things at the time. Why was it Jim's that you decided on going with?
I like cleaning. I have never looked any other business at all. Nothing. I like cleaning. I'm very good at it. And that's probably put me, a bit forward than the other people, Joel, is because I do like cleaning. And I want to do things, I make sure it's absolutely immaculate what I do. I want it my way. And I thought myself, I want to just expand my knowledge in relation to become a cleaner. And then have for the future be able to have my own business in a big company like Jim's, And that's why treating it to reached people. Yeah, and I'm very good.
No, it's great you said that, because Jim always says, people go, well, which division makes the money? And he always says, what's the wrong question? What do you actually like doing? So go into something that you like doing, and that's fantastic that you actually like doing the cleaning itself. So with your business as well, do you want to talk about where it's at now size-wise? Like, do you have, how many regular customers or how many employees do you have, or how big is the size of your business after 10 years?
Very good question, Joe. Look, I believe in business, you've got three things to rely on. Is one, how you present yourself, which is that presentation, very important in the businesses. The way you run, the uniform, the way you deal with people, the confidence that you've got, how you be able to, selling your brand to strangers, because clients are strangers, who they are. And number three is the costs. And that's the three things I rely on every single time that I talk to staff or to submit a quote. I rely on those three: presentations, comparable costs. We have a fair and reasonable amount of people that work with us as an employees, not as subcontractors. We have a fair amount of people that we have in our books, relationship guides. So that's what we did about it. So it's a fair, reasonable, fairly medium-sized business. And I'll say medium-sized business because it is a medium-sized. Yes, we do.
That's great. And over the 10 years, you, as you said before, in your previous life, you managed people and stuff like that. But that's a big problem for a lot of franchisees, as you'd know from talking to franchisees, is finding good people and keeping good people and actually building the team. So do you have any advice for other franchisees in gyms or just in general with business owners? Where do you find good people for one? How do you manage the team and how do you keep them? Because that seems to be the major problem for people within gyms from growing their business.
I deal with a different problem agencies. I rely on them in relation to their expertise by scouting those candidates, and then they will email with a list of people who's interested to be part of our business. And then after that, I'll basically file the people that I need to interview, and then I'll sit the interview those people. And then 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 15, I'll pick up 1 out of 15 or 1 out of 10. So some guys at that beginning, I know about people. I really do. Sometimes in that sort of field of business, you would get to know about people. The way they present themselves to you and the way the background and all the stuff. So it's all about give and take, the way you deal with them, and that's what you expect them to do. Generally, with the cleaning, in the cleaning industry, there's a bit of turnaround relationship stuff, So you lose some and you win some. So you'll never have the same staff member for the next 5 or 10 years. There's always turnaround stuff. So if you set your job description, what you're after those people that become employees of yours, I think that would be the best way to do it, and we know exactly what we want from those people.
It's good advice there for employment agencies for people to use. And I was going to say as well, how do you maintain then the quality of the work from them? Because obviously you're ultimately responsible for them in the field. And, you can't say to Jim, my employee did the complaint, wipe it off. So how do you maintain the customers? How do you maintain that quality with your large team?
Very good question too. I have training every single person that we employ by our company. They will be trained the way we clean. Every single person out there have their own cleaning methods. We would tell them that the way we clean is different to yours. And we make sure that employee has been trained the way we want him to work, and make sure that we follow up more constantly in relation to his performance during that period of time. So it doesn't mean that when you train this person, make sure it's been followed by discussion or followed by his performance in relation to cleaning, and that would keep his professional cleaning on top. So that's in relation to a staff member who come in and they will get a job as a cleaner for all behalf of G. That's number one. Number two, we give them the scope of work. So every single time that we get a quote, we make sure that we email those people, not a generic email. Every single email what we do is different from the other person. There will be a non-generic email specifically telling what they expect us to do, the scope of work, and then these staff member then will be rostered for that and allocated to that work, and then he then will have a checklist for the scope of work, and he will then scan it for that particular work, and he'll pick it up and run with it. So that's how we make sure that the customer knows exactly what they need from us, and we then we have to tell the staff what they're expecting from the start member to doing the actual visit. So it's all about communication in writing and followed by the email from the. So it's all about, what the customer requires from the specific tasks. You need the specific tools. You need the specific staff to be able to carry that job. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it must be working because you've got a couple of franchise codes, you've got 0 complaints, and you've got hardly any gyms ratings, which is a good thing, which means you don't take any leads, or you haven't taken a lead maybe for a long time from the gym system. So are you getting all your business by referrals, or how are you building your business? Because you've been around with us, since 2014. And I generally look at a lot of the ratings before I come on, so I can sort of see with people. But because you got so few ratings, which tells me you haven't taken leads for a very, very long time. So you must be building your business by referral, or how have you been building it to the size you have?
We do a lot of government bodies that they know who we are because we've been dealing with it for a long period of time. So they know exactly what sort of quality that we provide. We have insurances, we have all this certifications and on that we built. We have, and that we come back again, John, in relation to confidence and presentations. We have created, and since that from G, we have created a quality assurance system and occupational safety protocol. Because when you have these documentations up in sleeves and you present them with a quote, people look at you different. It's all about what you present yourself in that is what you get out of it. Yeah, people want peace of mind. The money that's spent on me to be able to go and do the cleaning for them, they expect me to be a peace of mind, hassle-free, and cost effective. And that's the most important part of the business point of view. So that would just basically what answer your question.
Yeah. So you've invested a bit of time from the sounds of it into creating all this documentation, and you've got these systems behind it. So maybe you want to outline for franchisees and just for other business owners, is there any software you use in particular, or how do you then, what's the flow of this whole process? So, quote comes in, or, is it, within 24 hours they have a scope of works, which they sign off, and then you give it to, how does that actual system work, and what software are you using to help you manage the whole thing?
Yeah, back in relation to how would I get more leads? Yep. It's word to mouth. It's, as I said, we do a lot of government bodies. I am in the IS provider. See, as I said, I invested a lot of time for me and time and energy and money to move forward the business. We become an IS provider and qualified on the IS provider. We then created a quality assurance system, including professional safety protocol. All this stuff that we built, it gives that positive feelings to those people who wanted to have a good cleaner. And we, on the other note, we stopped getting leads from G's. It's all about all this organisation get in touch with us, and then basically we catch with their needs and for the work that we provided on them. So, and that's basically what, as I said, not because of the actual costs that we're going to get the leads from. We actually do have a majority of our leads on a regular basis. They have a one-off category services. We always basically rely on that on a regular basis in that one-off basis. Yeah.
For sure. And do you want to just outline quickly, people, for Sam, Sam, what's your software, or what sort of system are you using to distribute all this stuff? Because franchisees are always interested in what software other people use. So could you just outline what you use and what's your process from your office in distributing all this stuff?
I run on a Xero formatted system. The Xero have, as you know, the invoicing system. They have then the payroll, with the time sheets. So all our staff basically, when they submit the time sheet, it goes into their own phone. They submit the time sheet back to us, goes to Xero, and then that of the week when we do the payroll check run, we basically link into their payroll system, and we pay them according to the time sheet. So we're running out, and then all the P&L and all the stuff running by Xero. So Xero is our number one formatted system, and that basically just broadly huge in relation to our business. We rely on a day-to-day basis, from the invoice reconciliation to institution invoices to payroll to superannuation to anything that you need. So all that Xero, and it's still feasible for us because we become a medium company, not a small company. So we can afford to have that privilege. And I call it a privilege, having Xero into yeah.
How do you structure your day as a business owner? Because a lot of franchisees, are you on the tools still at all just for the training in any part, or are you completely off them all?
I am. I go every single day. I go out of the home at 6 o'clock in the morning. I put my clothes, I put my uniform on and go to work every single day. And then I ask my friend any time, any day. Go. I'd like to run 24/7. Any start, any call, any calls, any query about anything, I'm always on the phone. And if I somehow didn't answer the phone within 5 minutes, I will give them a call back. So it's, yes, I am on the tools every single day.
Well, how do you manage your time management wise? Are you, as you said, the phone's always on and all that sort of stuff, but how do you manage your time? Because you've obviously you're doing your own work in the field, which is great because you can stay up to date with techniques and all those different things, but you also then got all this responsibility of a medium-sized business, not just a small one, a medium-sized one.
Correct.
So how do you do it?
You know what, as I said to you before, John, I'm very good at what I do. I am hand-on tools. But when I come back to the office, I'll forget about anything out there and just focus on the office. I spend at least, and that's by choice, by choice, I spend at least on a lazy day between 6 and 6.5 hours every day in the office.
Wow.
Huge business. We get a lot of requests, we've got a lot of emails, we've got a lot of stuff happening on a day-to-day basis. And I enjoy it. I've got family, I've got my wife, I've got my kids, I've got everyone around me. And they sometimes will know what we did in divorce and that in a month. They probably chip in and have a chat to us and help me out with this. But I do like what I do. It's like gym. I physically like to be at there and do the work because I know what I do things. I make sure things spark as well, John. They have to see you doing the work to give them an example, for them to do exactly what you asked for. And that's a fantastic thing to be on the tool, to learn that you're doing the right thing. You just want to know exactly what you're coming from, But no, I do the admin work. And as I said to you before, it was on the lazy day, 6.5 hours on the lazy day. And that's just, and as I said to you before, all our emails, all our communications, not once, it's a generic email. It's always been specifically asked and answered the way it's supposed to be. And that is it. That's a good sort of business practice.
Yeah, that's great to make it all personal. I was going to say as well, with financially over the years of the 10 years, how's the business been for you? Because it can be quite daunting. You leave a really well-paid job, but you leave a job with which you're doing to go into this whole business venture. So financially, you've obviously put a lot of work in and invested into it as well. But financially, over the 10 years, how's it been for you from a money perspective?
Everyone got hit by COVID, as you know, Joel. COVID was just COVID and just basically just put a soul in their business, you know what I mean? So it's we struggle. Our staff were time at home. None of them were supposed to go to work, and we had that intensive sort of government subsidy staff for the durations. They'll help them a lot. But we struggled during COVID because the majority of our businesses are commercial. The domestic cleaning was put on hold with the actual, because of COVID. Like people don't protect it at home, and they had to clean while the COVID was really on a pandemic. So, look, financial, in business, you always have ups and downs, and during lunch period, you look at it as it's like a plateau, you know what I mean? So it's just straight line. And that moves so much to us. We don't want it to go straight up and straight down. I like it to be straight and plateau. But look, I wouldn't do it for nothing, job, to be frank with you. If it's not feasible, I would have packed up a long time ago, packed up and gone. But it is feasible. It's hard work. It's a lot of commitment. And I can assure you, having a brand like Jim, it is outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. That is the key of that business. It's the brand. It's not people know Jim with the lawn mowing stuff, but they don't exactly, they want to deal with Jim. They're having someone else doing that work,
I was going to say as well, because people might be going, well, if you haven't taken leads in a long time and you've got all your government work, why have you stayed with gyms for so long? So is that for you the number one reason? It's just the brand. Is that's what it's worth it to you to hang around for?
Absolutely. There's no other way about this. The brand is number one, and the rest is second and third and fourth. Yes, you have to have the right equipment, tools, the right products. You have to always keep yourself open-minded with the new ideas. It's all fine. The key is Jim's brand, and And people want a peace of mind. They want to invest their money into gyms to make sure the product they are getting, it is worthwhile.
And what's your best advice then, Sam, for someone how to build a business? Because a lot of franchisees want to, do what you've been able to do, but they don't. They just seem to have like a roadblock sometimes, or they just can't seem to do it. So what's your best advice to them to maybe then how to build a business, maybe how to go from that 1 or 2 person operation to a medium-sized business, what you've done? What would you recommend or say to them?
Good question. Look, I tell people, because I get a lot of phone calls from gyms and outside gyms, I met in businesses. And they ask me the same question. I'm not making money. I'm not liking in business. I'm not making money. I'm going. And I said, how long have you been in that business? And tell me, forget what I say to you, tell me what you're doing to that business to make sure it is feasible for you. Right? So I would tell them you have to invest a lot of time, not the money, a lot of time to make sure it's working. It's a real business running on 4 wheels. Yeah. So it's driving around. We just did our work and we go home in the afternoon and make sure it's being done properly. So it's not a supermarket. We can go there or won a lottery. You don't want a jackpot. You just go there and just go like that and win $1 million in one go. It is a process. It's absolutely a process to get this job done. Yeah. And if you want it to be more and you want to continue doing it, you need the time and you need the energy. Yeah. And you have to think, you have to have a strategy in place. Otherwise, you wouldn't know what to do. You have to have goals and strategy, what you need to do in that business and what you're trying to get yourself out of it. What are you trying to achieve? Yeah. You got to set a goal of 5, you got to look at 10, you got to look at 20. What do you have in mind to be able to succeed in that? It's business. It's not a fake business. So you have to invest a lot of time, a lot of energy to make sure, and eventually it will work. If you do the right thing by the client, number 1, and number 2 is by you, it would work. It would take a long period of time, but it would work.
So when a franchisee calls you for advice, Sam, what do you say to them is the main area they should be focused on? Is as you just said, is it delivering a really good job or being more proactive in their local area marketing? What do you say to them?
I'll ask you, tell me, okay, well, I said, how do you communicate with people? By email. Show me the emails. Send me all the emails, I'll have a look at it. And they do send me all the emails. Half of the time I read the emails, don't understand it. I just literally don't understand it. And I'll ring him up, so I'll ring her up or ring him up. So tell me what he's trying to do. We're trying to explain to those people in that email because I don't understand it. I don't understand it. They don't understand it either. So you need to make sure it is very, very simple what you're trying to tell those people to do. And that's the heart of the time people don't reply in those people because they think it's generating about, I don't want it. You know what I mean? Always do that email, make sure it's simple, make sure it's understandable, and they're followed by the phone call to make sure that, yes, they received they received an email, and that 2 years you follow up by call. Or it's a courtesy call. You know, you go there, cleaning stage a task. It's all about what you put in that business, what you get out of it. It's something very, very simple. It's very hard to convince people to buy the products. Yeah, but it's when you get used to it, very simple to deal with it. And that's what I tell these people. Just share what you've got. Call us in communication, you know those people, and they'll tell you why you're doing wrong. And 90% of the people that are doing wrong, they don't understand it. Just they understand the communication. Or you know what I mean, or the costs. The costs are very important. But, I'm not saying they're going to be cheap. Nothing cheap out there. Always my mum and my wife keep telling me that if buy a cheap product, it's expensive. Because you end up paying that twice or 3 times. So people, they mind a ratio for costs, make sure that money their hard earnings, it's worthwhile. And, and that's very important. So when we deal with those query about, why I'm not getting work or why I'm having a problem dealing with people, you always go back to the same thing, communication breakdown. And that's number 1. That costs no public liability or insurances or workers' comp, nothing. It's all about communications. Before you start getting the job done, it's all about communications, yeah? And that's the most important part.
It's a great bit of advice, and it's something where franchisees, but I don't think they maybe would objectively look at it as much as what you've said. And that's really great. You said about being personal. I think it's a really big thing. It takes a little bit extra time, but people can tell. And as you said, people, if they read the email, they can't understand it, and they're not going to use your service. And the way you said it to them is beautifully, and they should really look at it. And it's great that you provide that advice for franchisees to help them improve, which is fantastic. And I was going to say as well, Sam, you've been in business for 10 years, which is a very small percentage of people get to 10 years in business. So it's a really good achievement to do that. What's been your key to staying so successful in 10 years? Has it just been resilience? Has it been systems? What's it been, do you think, your key to success for hanging around in business for 10 years?
Consistency is what you do. You keep doing exactly the same thing. And if you do the same thing over and over and over again, you're bloody very good at it. And you're very good. You end up doing a good job, and you never make any mistakes. But all that consistency, and make sure that the consistency broadly, I'm talking about the consistency with the communication, consistency with the product, consistency with the uniform, consistency with everything that you do with the business as a consistent. It's huge right next to it. And that's how I sort of a very, very humble way. I'm a very successful person because I think that what I invest in that business, that's what now I could thank to myself that all this hard work that I did, it paid itself off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great word. You said consistency. It's the simple things over a long amount of time all add up, right? And that's the thing Jim always says as well. Just being ultra consistent and being disciplined to do those sorts of things. And it sounds easy, a lot of the things you're saying, but a lot of people just don't do them, and that's where the businesses fall over from what we can tell. I was going to say as well, Sam, highlight over the 10 years. Has there been any highlights in particular over the 10 years, what the business allowed you to do, or has there been anything surprising about it, or what's there been over you as a highlight for the business?
Or say that again, Joel.
I was going to say, over the 10 years, has there been any highlights that have stood out to you? Has it been being able to do more things that you would have been able to do than your job before, or what's a highlight over being in business for 10 years been for you?
I reckon the most highlight of business is to get to know people. People are different. You see all walk of life. That's amazing. That makes it so interesting. It's just because everyone is different, So the highlight of life business is dealing with those people. And every single those client or clientele is different from the other one. So you won't get the same thread, you won't get the same people. One extreme to the other, Joel, and that makes it so highlight, to make your job still interesting. And if you do the same thing and you over and over and over, the same people, the same you get bored. So the highlight of my business that every single person that we deal is different than the other person that was there before. And that makes it highlight. I find it very, very extraordinary.
Well, maybe then, Sam, what's some advice then on dealing with different personality types? Because everyone's got different personalities. Some people are a bit more louder, some people are more quieter. So how have you, is it just a thing from years of experience where you get to know that with people? Or how do you go about dealing with the different personality types? And do you adjust what you do based on the personality type?
Yes. I did say that before in the beginning of our interview that I know about people. I know something about me that I got that gift of the gab, about people. So that makes it so different from the rest of them. When I have a chat to people, when I visit them, when I need to know things or me, I know exactly what they want to. I know exactly what they want me to do. I know exactly what the cost want to be. I know exactly all this stuff built on your experience about things that you do over and over and over again.
That's great, man. That does answer. I was going to say as well, support over the years from the franchisor. How's that been as well in your region?
I don't talk too much if they don't ring me up more often than I do. Not because I don't want it, because I just don't have to talk about it. But they get in touch with us once a month, just having a chat to see how things is going. And I think, I think the franchisor, it's a good blanket. I could say that to realize if you need to have a chat. But I can't recall the last time I rang up my franchisor about something. I can't recall. I've been in this for 10 years. I understand. Everyone's busy, Joel. You do the right thing by them. You do the right thing by the family. You do the thing by the business. So it's just, I don't, not to the law, but
it's good to know that. Yeah, it's there if you know. You said a good word. You said blanket, so it's there if you do need it, and if not, but as you said, you're just doing your thing. got a massive business, so you don't, you need them, you can jump in. I was going to say as well, you're obviously a rugby fan. Do you go for Manly?
Actually, no, I go. I'm thinking around. I do a lot of charity work, and I follow the Rabbitohs.
Okay.
I'm not my team, but no, it's we do a lot of charity work, and we invest a lot of energy to make sure these people and needs require our help. So,
well, what charity work do you do, Sam? What charity are you involved with, and what do you do?
I'm involved in a couple of charity works. I'd rather like to mention because I'll get myself embarrassed, but we do a lot of charity work, Joel, and even my kids involved in a couple of charity works. Make sure they help those people in needs. It's very important in our lives. Very important. Joel, life is too short. Money comes and goes. The only thing is sticking thing is the way you deal with people and things that you offer people for no return. I think that's very, very important to have that sort of attitude toward other people. So we do have a couple of charities that we deal with, including my family, and not because I don't want to say who they are, but I don't want to say anything. I'll make myself embarrassed.
No, well, good on you for doing that, mate. And thank you very much for joining us today on Jim's podcast. As I said, Jim was really impressed with your story. He said, get into touch with Sam, and it's fantastic to hear you doing so well. And a great word you said is, I've never heard anyone say in the podcast, you've got a medium business. We always talk about small business, but you said medium business. So people can work out from the size of that, what you've been able to build is great. You've got 2 territories, no complaints. You've got massive teams. So well done on your success, Sam. And we appreciate you on your time today of the podcast. We'll get this a call voucher to you as well. It comes via an email. Generally comes within 8 to 10 business days. So if you don't get it, please email me about it. And we'll get that silver membership to you as well. But thank you for your time today, and great to speak with you.
Oh, thank you so much for your time this morning too, mate. You've done a fair bit of talk today, and thanks for your honesty and your and Jim's dedications and his honesty and his great business. And I'll say once and for all that to be part of Jim's group, it's a privilege. And thank you very much for it. And you've done a damn good job by creating that huge brand, which is a lot of people swear by.
Well, thanks, Sam, for your insights. It's great to have someone who's you're really self-reliant. So it's obviously but the thing you said, which is the brand, which is fantastic. And brands are very term like it's a bit, marketing-ish, and what does brand actually mean? But, it's great to hear from someone's perspective where you don't take leads, you don't need much support from the franchisor, but the brand means so much to you, which is why you stay within the business. So thanks for sharing that, because I think that's really, really important.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Nice. Thanks, Sam. Have a great week, mate. Thank you for listening to the episode of the Gyms podcast. If you want to learn more about the Gyms Group, head to gyms.net or call us on 131 546 Australia or 0800 454 654 New Zealand. And if you did like the episode as well, please make sure you leave a review or a comment or a thumbs up or a comment on the video as well. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.